Lake. Zangbo, how are you all?
Good morning, Kimpala.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Charge bit saya. Oops, sorry. Nanti baca dia mau lumin, ane use coba nggak gitu. Okay. Page 101. Page 재밌는 거 되게 마셔서. 오늘도 네 있습니다. Page 101. So sit in a nice, relaxed, comfortable posture. So visualize Guru Rinpoche together with the Dakas and Dakinis arise in the air, playing Dhammarus and bells and singing this inspiring song, disturbing the slumber of ignorance. and you wake up to it. Ke mai ke ho kal de re ke bo ma re te mo wang ge ma ne Sindro ngar ke dan da yar long dang to me dine da la tu ke ma re wang ge nil yuen de choi ge da ne ma na go sum ge la Kengai Nachi Dungai Mishe Sam De Ring Zamya Tabe Kokane Drulai Tsindru Kebe Dilai Ban Dari Chimpo Tende Entrunte Nyomle Ngangla Dembe Dima Yin Chihuai Somla Drupa Hataru Tselai lome chicken same cha de tse me tsere dengshe maton. Kebui keni sembe che je roen che nam dame donjin che danjel. Chumai mi ju me lam zunen dan de ze don kere da cha tambo che. Chundai chuburo miyuro jumban soy shejai jume pechu deshindo. Korde chenam keke shebaragi chenam ranjin kewa me pate. Neme game doy me bawo me me tsema me chen samjenje. Dende dombara jawe de la ba. Namo Guru Be Namo Dewa Be Namo Dhake Be. Page 101. O alas, alas, fortunate child of Buddha nature, do not be oppressed by the forces of ignorance and delusion, but rise up now with resolve and courage. Entranced by ignorance from beginningless time until now, you have had more than enough time to sleep, so do not slumber any longer, but strive after virtue with body, speech, and mind. Are you oblivious to the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death? There is no guarantee that you'll survive even past this very day. The time has come for you to develop perseverance in your practice. For at this singular opportunity, you could attain the everlasting bliss of Buddhahood. So now is certainly not the time to sit idly, but starting with the reflection on death, you should bring your practice to completion. The moments of our life are not expendable, and the possible circumstances of death are beyond imagination. If you do not achieve an undaunted, confident security now, what point is there in your being alive, O fortunate being? All phenomena are selfless, empty, and free from conceptual elaboration. In their dynamic, they resemble an illusion, mirage, dream, or reflected image. A Gandharva city, an echo, a reflection of the moon in water, a bubble, an optical illusion, or an intangible emanation. You should know that all things of cyclic existence and nirvana accord in nature with these 10 similes of illusory phenomena. All phenomena are naturally unborn. They neither abide nor cease, neither come nor go. They are without objective referent or characteristics, ineffable and free from thought. The time has come for this truth to be realized. Homage to the Llama, homage to the Idam, homage to the Dakini. Namo Guru Bhe, Namo Dewa Bhe, Namo Dhake Bhe. Station the rocket animate. Okay. Okay, page 3. Blessing the speech. Yagolo, sumlo, yagolo. Page number 3. Om. Fire rising from rum syllable consumes my tongue, transforming it into a three-pronged vajra of red light. In its center are the vowels and consonants surrounded by the mantra, the essence of interdependent origination. From these syllables, like a string of pearls, light rays stream out, making offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, pleasing them. As these rays return, all obscurations of my speech are purified, and I receive all the blessings and siddhis of Vajra speech. A a I u re re li li e I o anga ha ka ka nga cha na ta da na ta da na pa pa ma ya ra la wa sha sa ha cha ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun shantata gato hayavadata te shanchayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramana swaha. A I u re li e I o anga ha ka nga cha na ta da na ta da na ba ma yara la wa sha sa ha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan hayavadata te shanchayo nirhodaya vamvadi mahashramana swaha. A I u re li e I o anga ha ka nga cha na da na ta da na pa ma yara la wa sha sa ha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tatha gato haya vadata te shanchayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramana swaha. A I u re li e I o anga ha Ka kha 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 nga cha 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 na da tha da da na ta tha da da na pa pa ba ba ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetunte shantata gato haya vadata. Te shanchayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o awangaha ka ka ga gang. Cha 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 na da tha da da na ta tha da da na pa 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 pa. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetunte shantata gato haya vadata. Te shanchayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha I u re re le li e I o au angaha. Ka kha gha gha nga cha 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 na ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa pa ba bam. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetunte shantata gato haya vadata. Te shanchayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashamana soha I u re le 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 e I o au angaha. Ka kha gha ga nga cha 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 na ta tha dha da na ta tha dha da na pa pa ba bam. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetunte shantata gato haya vadata. Te shanchayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashamana so. Page 13. Apa tu dois de bom tu chama tu de canto. Llama Lama Yara Le Dainen Mo Drabe Zere Wai Ke Wai Ngem Pai Dalai Cho Pe Che Jioroi de chen koroi jen do shu den dan shi shi kun chang xiang so su. O Lama, please think of me. O Lama, please think of me. O Lama, please think of me. From the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, arise, O kind Lama, my only refuge, in order to protect me, the miserable unfortunate one, who is overwhelmingly tormented by karma and mental affliction. I pray that you remain as the jewel ornament on the crown chakra of great bliss, arousing all of my mindfulness and awareness. Du zum sangye tam jige ngo guje dane banden lama damba la sewa de so tala wanguro jenge lamto se salam ge dobai ke barache julai ke wara jenge lamto se kadai ne lo ke tawa dombara jenge lamto se Tundru nanje yeshe tarjim bara jenge lamto se. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. Okay, once again, bring forth the precious motivation of the Bodhisattva, that is to think of bringing all sentient beings freed from the cause and resultant suffering, and to establish them to the state of perfect and complete Buddhahood. For that purpose, I myself will engage in this Longchen Nyingthig Ngonro and the 100-day mind training. Page 17. Now I am free from the hell, preta, or animal realms, long living gods, born in barbaric land or being a wrong view holder, born in a period when Buddha has not appeared, or being mentally dumb. I have obtained freedom from these eight unfree states, born a human being with all my senses intact, and in a center land, with a lifestyle not harmful or wrong, and with faith in the Buddha's teachings. These five personal endowments are complete. A Buddha has appeared, has taught the Dharma, it is existing. I follow it. And a sublime teacher has accepted me. I have thus the five circumstantial endowments. Although I am in a position where I have every one of them, once this life so fraught with uncertainty is relinquished, I will go on yet to another realm of existence. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. If I do not use the opportunity this present freedom offers, I will not find such a basis for attaining liberation later on. Once the merit that provided this happy existence is exhausted, I will wander after death as an unfortunate being in the miserable realms. Not knowing virtue from non virtue, I'll never hear a word of Dharma, nor meet a spiritual teacher or terrible disaster. If we reflect on the numbers and kinds of sentient beings, we understand just how slim is the chance of gaining a human body. When we see even human beings devoid of Dharma engaging in negativity, we realize those who act according to Dharma are just like the daytime star. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Even though it is like reaching a jewel island attaining this human body, a fickle and impetuous mind in such a promising basis makes it an unsuitable support for attaining liberation, especially when possessed by negative influences or with the poisons raging inside, or when negative karma befalls me or I'm distracted by laziness, or when a slave under someone else's control or turning to dharma simply out of insecurity or fear, or merely pretending to practice, or when deluded and stupid. These are the eight intrusive circumstances that make dharma impossible. When these come upon me opposing my dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Lacking both revulsion and the jewel of devotion, caught in the bond of desire and cravings, or with crude degenerate behavior, never holding back from negative harmful actions and engaging in the five inexpiable acts, with vows completely broken and samaya torn to shreds. These are the eight propensities where mind is cut off from the Dharma. When these come upon me opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. At this moment I am not inflicted by sickness or pain, nor am I a slave or such under another's control. So now when I have this perfect auspicious quality of total independence, if I waste the freedom of this human life through my own indolence, not to mention parting from my companions, possessions, relatives, and loved ones, even this body that I hold so dear will be carried out alone from its bed to some desolate spot, to be torn to pieces by foxes, vultures, and dogs. And then in the bardo there will be even greater terror. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. The results of virtuous and non-virtuous actions will follow accordingly. especially if I am born in the hell realms, on a ground of burning iron. My head and body will be hacked with weapons. I will be ripped apart with saws and crushed with red hot hammers. Trapped in doorless iron cells, screaming out loud, I will be impaled on red hot spikes, boiled in molten lava, and burned in a fire of intense heat in these 8 classifications of the hot hells. On the crests of snow mountains, on precipices of ice, terrifying places engulfed by squalls and blizzards of snow, my tender body, lashed by freezing winds, will break out into blisters, bursting opening into festering sores, in a ceaseless wail of agonized screams and suffering difficult to even think about, like a sick person at death whose strength is completely gone. I'll let out deep gasps and groans, my teeth clench, my skin cracking open, and my exposed raw flesh will split deeper and will split yet again in these 8 classifications of the cold hells. Similarly, my feet will be sliced into ribbons on the plane of razors. In the forest of swords, my body will be gashed and chopped. I will sink in the swamp of putrefying corpses and the pit of hot embers, tormenting in the changing hell and in the hell neighboring the ultimate torment. Born indoors, pillars, fireplaces, ropes, and the like, always made use of and exploited in the ephemeral hells. When thoughts of intense hatred and aggression arise, which are the causes of being born in any of the 18 hells, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Likewise, in the grim and destitute realm, where the words food, drinks, or comfort have never been heard, the pretas find nothing to eat or drink for months and years on end. Their bodies are emaciated and they lack even the strength to stand. They suffer from 3 different kinds of obscurations. The reason for being born in such a birth is greed, in constant dread of being killed and eaten by one another, exploited and worked until exhaustion, bewildered as what to do or not to do. Animals are oppressed by limitless suffering, the seed of which is stubborn stupidity. When I wander into this darkness, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Though I have entered the path of Dharma, I haven't put a stop to my mistaken behavior. Though I have entered the door of the Mahayana, I am devoid of any benefiting thoughts for others. Though I have received the 4 empowerments, I do not practice the generation and completion stages of meditation. O Lama, free me from straying from the path. Though I have not realized the view, I act as if I were crazed. Though distracted in my meditation, I boast about my understanding. Though my actions are at fault, I do not reflect upon my mistakes. O Lama, free me from becoming such a jaded practitioner. Though I may die tomorrow, I am full of craving for home, clothes, and possessions. Though my youth has passed, I lack revulsion and renunciation. Though I've heard only a few Dharma teachings, I arrogantly presume that I have qualities. O Lama, free me from such ignorance. Though headed toward disaster, I am preoccupied in distraction, roaming the world. Though I stay in solitary retreats, my basic character remains as hard as wood. Though I speak of morality, I have not abandoned my attachment and aversion. O Lama, free me from 8 worldly concerns. Quickly rouse me from this deep sleep of ignorance. Quickly free me from this dungeon. Now visualize the refuge field in front of you, and then all sentient beings along with you going for refuge. Excuse. kadri temen it's hard to see in the morning. And it's 10. Okay. Refuge tree Kunjo sumye deshe zawa sum zalun tele ranjen janju sim ngowo ranjen toje kyal korola janju nimbo bando chansu chi Kunjo sumye deshe zawa sum Salun tile ranjen jancho sem Ngo ranjen toje kel korona Jancho ningbo bardo jansun che Kunjo sumye deshe zawan sum Salun tile ranjen jancho sem Ngo ranjen toje kel korola Chanchu ningpo bardo chansun che Kuncho sumye deshe zawan sum Salun tile ranjen jancho se Ngo ranjen toje kel korola Chanchu ningpo bardo chansun che In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. Bodhicitta. Ho nazo nangwai chunde zinre ki korwai logo jodo chambero rang re se yin so ngel se che tse me je ye ngane sem kendo ho nazo nangwai chunde zinre ki korwai logo jodo chambero Rang re se yin so ngel se che Se me ji ye ngang ne sim ken do O na zo nang wai che de zin re ki Kor wai lu gu ju do cham ben do Rang re se yin so ngel se che Se me ji ye ngang ne sim ken do Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water, beings grasping it as real wonder continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of limitless intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water, beings grasping it as real wonder continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of a moon in the water, beings grasping it as real wonder continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Then, Dru Tonglen, as you breathe out, you give. And you take when you breathe in and dissolve in great bodhicitta. Okay, like that, and then finally, all sentient beings dissolve into the refuge field. The refuge field dissolves into the Llama. The Llama dissolves into basic space. And then you rest in that space, or you in that state, in that nature for a while. Okay, Lama Vajrasattva, page 43. In my ordinary form above the crown of my head, on a white lotus in the center of a moon disk seed, is the syllable Hung, which becomes the Lama Vajrasattva, brilliantly white with complete Sambhogakaya adornments. Holding Vajra and bell, he embraces his consort Dorje. I take refuge in you and pray that you purify all of my negativities. With deepest regret, I acknowledge and confess them. From now on, even if my life is at stake, I shall vow to refrain from repeating them again. In your heart, upon the full moon, is the syllable Hung, encircled by the mantra. Reciting the mantra invokes your wisdom mind, and from the point of Yab and Yum's blissful play, clouds of bodhicitta nectar flows down like drops of camphor. By means of these, for me and all sentient beings of the three realms, may our negative karma and destructive emotions, the causes of suffering, illnesses, harmful influences, negativities, and obscurations, along with falls, downfalls, and defilements due to breakages of samaya, be purified completely until not a single one remains. Om Vajra Sato Samaya Mano Palaya Vajra Sato Ateno Patishtantado Meba. Sudokayo me bhava, subokayo me bhava, anurakto me bhava, sarva siddhi me prayasa sarva karma sutame. Siddham Shriya Guru Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramami. Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Santo A Om Vajra Sato Samaya Mano Palaya Vajra Sato Ateno Patishtantado Sudokayo me bhava, subokayo me bhava, anurakto me bhava, sarva siddhi me prayasa sarva karma sutame. Chitam Shriya Guru Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajrama Me Munja Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sato Om Vajra Sato Samaya Mano Balaya Vajra Sato Teno Patisha Dirdo Me Bhava Sudokayo Me Bhava Subhokayo Me Bhava Nurato Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sutame Chitam Shriya Guru Hung Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajrama Me Munja Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sato Ahom. Page 47. O protector, in my ignorance and delusion, I have gone against and impaired my samaya. Llama protector, be my refuge, chief of all the mandalas, Vajra holder, embodiment of great compassion, chief of all beings, in you I take refuge. I confess all broken root and branch samayas of body, speech, and mind. I pray that you cleanse and purify all of my accumulated negativities, obscurations, falls, downfalls, and defilements. Page 50. Vajrasattva is pleased and smilingly says, Noble child, all of your negative actions, obscurations, falls, and downfalls are purified. Granting his approval, he melts into light, and by dissolving into me, I become Vajrasattva, appearing yet empty like a reflection in a mirror. At my heart is the syllable Hum, around which the four brilliantly radiant syllables emanate rays of light, whereby the three worlds, the whole universe, and beings within it attain Buddhahood together as the Buddha feels and the Buddhas of the five families of Vajrasattva. Om Vajra Sattva, Om Vajra Sattva, Om Vajra Sattva, Om Vajra Sattva, Om Vajra Sattva. Om Banjar Sattva, Om Banjar Sattva, Om Banjar Sattva, Om Banjar Sattva. Om Banjar Sattva, 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 Om Banjar Sattva. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo Sodom. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo Sodom. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo Sodom. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo Sodom. Om Banjo Sodom 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 Banjo. Om Banjo Sodom Banjo Sodom Banjo Sodom Banjo Sodom Banjo Sodom. Om Banjo Sodom. Then Vajrasattva dissolves into the Sid syllables. The Sid syllables dissolve into the essence syllable Hung. The Hung syllable dissolves underneath into the top, and then dissolves tracelessly into basic space, and then you rest in that state for a while. Okay, now the mandala offering. Om Ahum. The billion pure realms of the 3,000-fold world system, filled with the 7 precious gems and the wealth of gods and humans. Together with my body and possession, I offer them totally. May I attain the dominion of the universal ruler of Dharma. The Akanishta pure realm densely arrayed with great bliss. The mandalas of the 5 certainties of the 5 Buddha families, along with inconceivable vast clouds of offerings of every variety of sensual pleasures, I offer. May I emanate in the Sambhoga Kaya Buddha field. The world of appearance and possibilities, perfectly pure, is the youthful vase body, ornamented by unceasing great compassion, the display of Dharmata. The perfect and pure realm of indivisible wisdom bodies I offer. May I manifest in the pure realm of Dharma Kaya. The earth's surface sprinkled with perfumed water and strewn with flowers, and adorned with Mount Sumeru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon, is visualized as a Buddha field I offer. May all beings enjoy in the pure realm of perfect purity. Tram Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Aho. Sa Jin Bin Ju Ju Jin Mendo Tam Ra Bling Shin Ninde Gemba De Sangye Shing Do Mikte Purwai Rogun Namda Shing La Chebaran Sho Tram Guru Radna Mendala Kam Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Aho. Page 59. By my casting away all attachment to this dearly cherished body, the Deva Putra Mara is destroyed. My consciousness ejects into space through the top of my crown and transforms into tremor, destroying the Mara of the Lord of Death. My right hand holding a hook knife symbolizing vanquishing the Mara of mental afflictions, slices the top of the corpse's skull, destroying the Mara of the aggregates. My left hand holds a skull cup, the aspect of activity, and places it on a hearth of three human skulls, representing the three kayas. Inside the vessel, the corpse, now an offering, filling the 3004 world systems. The blazing syllables melt the hung nectar, and the offerings are purified, multiplied, and transformed by the power of the three syllables. Om Ahung, Om Ahung, Om Ahung. Om Ahum, 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 Ahum. Om Ahum, 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 Ahum. Om Ahum, 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 Ahum. Om Ahum, 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 Ahum. By my offering to guests above, the sublime unconditioned wisdom of the root and lineage lamas and idams are fulfilled. Merit and wisdom are accumulated, and supreme and ordinary siddhis are attained. By my offering to the guests of samsara below, they are satisfied, and karmic debts are repaid. In particular, the malicious ones and negative forces are satisfied. All illnesses, destructive influences, and obstacles are pacified, dissolving into space. Harmful conditions and clinging to self are destroyed into dust. Finally, offerer, and guests dissolve uncontrived into the original nature of Dzogpa Chenpo. Guru Yoga. My own perception is the spontaneously perfect, all-encompassing Purim, arrayed perfectly as the glorious copper-colored mountain. In its center, I am Vajrayogini with one face and two hands, brilliantly red and holding a hook knife and skull cup. My 2 feet are in advancing pose, my three eyes gazing into the sky. Above the crown of my head on 100,000 petaled lotus, sun and moon seed, inseparable from my own root Lama, the embodiment of all sources of refuge, appears the Nirmanakaya lake-born Vajra. His body glows with youth, white with a tinge of red. He wears a gown, monastic shawl, cloak, and robe, with one face, two hands, and seated in a majestic posture. In his right hand he holds a vajra, in his left a skull cup containing the vase of immortality. And on his head he wears the five-petal lotus crown. In the crook of his left elbow he holds the supreme consort of bliss and emptiness, concealed as the three-pronged khatvanga. He presides amidst a shimmering aura of rays and rings of rainbow light. All around him, enveloped in a beautiful lattice of white, blue, yellow, red, and green light, are the 25 disciples, king and subjects, Panditas and Siddhas of India and Tibet, Rigzins and Idam deities, Takinis, Dharmapalas, and protectors, those who keep the Samaya, all gathered like billowing clouds, vividly and distinctly visualized in the great equanimity of clarity and emptiness. Gen yun ge no jan zan pe ma ge san dong bo la ya zen cho ge ngon ro ne pe ma jun ne she so kon do kan ro man ben kor ke ge je so dan jing ge lao che she so se go ro pe ma se de hong Kung Wu Jin Yun Gen Nob Jan San Pen Mai Ge Sar Dong Bo Ya Zin Cho Gen Ngo Dro Ne Pen Ma Jun Ne She So Kor Do Kan Dro Man Be Kor Ke Ge Je So Da Drup Che Jin Gen Lob Che She So Se Guru Pen Mai Sin De Hong Kung Wu Jin Yun Gen Nob Jan San Pen Mai Ge Sar Dong Bo Ya Tsen Chogen Odrum Ne Pema June Shesod Kondo Kandro Mamben Kor Kege Jeso Dai Druch Chinge Lapshe Shekso Se Guru Pema Sende. The seven branches. Free dans les jeunes donné de number to be chansen long et shan ye de things in te nan se che be chajan ko zo me ge le nam ko se che kwe ngon du ten ba ni ge de ba ye ge so kon lai je ye rik chen sum ge dul ja lai te sum che koro koro Jese korwa madon baranyange medai shosumde. Desun sabe getsa gun janchu chenbo juru. Page 71. Free, equal to the number of atoms in the universe. I multiply my body and offer prostrations. Through the power of samadhi, both real offerings and those mentally emanated. All appearances and possibilities are presented as a gesture offering. All non-virtuous karma of my body, speech, and mind are confessed in the luminous state of Dharmakaya. I rejoice in the accumulation of all virtue contained within the two truths. For the three types of beings to be tamed, I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma of the three yanas. Until samsara is emptied, I pray that you remain without passing into nirvana. All the roots of virtue accumulated in the three times, I dedicate as the cause for attaining Supreme Buddhahood. One more time. Shri Dan Le Jin Ge Du Ne Du Number Tu Bei Chan Zen Lo Nge Sham Ye Zhe Ding Zin Ti Nang Si Che Bei Chan Zhan Bin Go Sun Me Ge Le Nam Kun Ve Se Che Gui Ngang Du Shi Ten Ba Ni Ge Du Ba Yin Ge So Kun Lai Je Ye Ra Rik Chen Sum Ge Dul Ja Lai Tek Sum Che Koro Kor War Ko Jise korwa madon baranyange medai shosende. Ge desum sambe geza gunjan chu chenpo juru. Page 74. Jizen Guru Rinpoche Kene Sangye Tamche Ge Tuje Jinlai Dube Be Semche Yongke Gunche Gu Le Dan Longche Lonin Dan Teba Me Baraken Dene Janshu Mato Bai Kedu Lemne Tome Gun Jizen Chenboi Pejun Ken Dalai Resai Jenai Dunge nime data dinge nime ru meze dunge damdo jing dile chobshe ma guru wanje kurche jinla chen topa porche tuje chen jimne jonshe nu tu chen. Page 74. O Guru Rinpoche, precious Lama, you are the glorious embodiment of the compassion and blessings of all the Buddhas, the only protector of all sentient beings. My body, wealth, lungs, heart, and chest I offer to you without hesitation. From now until I attain Buddhahood, in happiness or sorrow, in circumstances good or bad, in situations high or low, great precious Lama, lotus born, think of me. I have no one else to turn to. The beings of these degenerate times are sinking in the swamp of unbearable suffering. Protect us from all of these, O great Guru. Grant us the four empowerments, O blessed one. Deepen our realization, O compassionate one. Purify the two obscurations, O powerful one. One more time. Jizen Guru Rinpoche Kene Sangye Tamche Ke Tuje Jinlai Dube Be Semche Yongke Gunche Po Le Dan Longche Loning Dan Te Bai Me Para Ken Lam Tene Janshu Ningpo Mato Barakido Lene Temeng Jizen Chenpo Pejung Ken Dalai Resai Shenai Me Tatai Dunge Ning Me Dro Mize Dunge Damdo Jing Dele Chopsheng Maha Guru Wangje Kurche Jinlabje Toba Porche Tuje Jen Rimne Jongshe Nu Tu Jen Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Mahum Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om Mahum Benza Guru Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Mahum Om Mahum Om Mahum Benza Guru Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Mahum Om Mahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om. Page 77. Emo. from within the pure realm, free from falling into limitations and extremes. The primordial Buddha Dharmakaya Kundu Zangpo, Vajra Sattva, the Sambhoga Kaya manifesting display like the moon in water, and Garabdoji perfect with the marks of Nirvana Kaya. To you I pray, please grant blessings and empowerments. Shri Singha, treasury of the ultimate Dharma, Jambal Shenin, universal monarch of the nine yanas, Janana Sutra and the great Pandita Vimala Mitra. To you I pray, please show this path of liberation. Pema Jungne, sole ornament of the world, the supreme wisdom heart disciples, King Trisong Detsen, Consolation Sogel and retinue Vairocana and others. Venerable Longchen Bahu revealed the symbols of an ocean of wisdom mind treasures. Jigme Lingpa entrusted with the transmission of the space treasury of the Dakinis. To you I pray, please grant liberation and fruition. Do Drupchinle was a Jingmi Galwe Nyugu, Padru Rinpoche, Jamyang Kenze Wangpo, Natso Rounder, Kenze Choki Lode, Kenze Yuzer, and the incomparably kind root Llama. To you I pray, please show the original face of my true nature. With renunciation and being disgusted with cyclic existence, may I meaningfully depend upon my Vajramas Lama as though he were my eyes. Following his instruction to the letter and taking to heart the profound practices he gives, and applying them with constant diligence, not just now and then. May the blessing of his realized wisdom mind be transferred into my own. All appearances and possibilities, samsara and nirvana, are primordially the Kanishta Purem, which is the result of purifying, ripening, and perfecting of deities, mantra, and dharmakaya. This is Dzogpa Shenpo, free of any action and effort of abandoning and adopting. Rigpa's dynamic radiance, which is beyond conceptual analysis and dualistic experience. May I see the actual unclad dharmata. The conceptual characteristics perfectly liberated are the encompassing sphere of rainbows and light. The experiences of Kayas and Tiglis supremely blossoming and achieving the full measure of Rigpa's power, the pure realms of Sambhoga Kaya, and attaining Buddhahood in the great consummate suchness of phenomena beyond concepts. May I accomplish the everlasting dominion of the youthful waste body. If I am unable to experience the realization of Ati Yoga, and this physical body is not liberated into the pure expanse, then when the formative constituents of this life fall apart, may the luminosity of death arise as the primordially pure Dharmakaya. May the appearances of the Bardo be liberated into Sambhoga Kaya, perfecting the power of a path of Trekche and Tegel. May I be liberated like a child returning to its mother's lap. In the great secret luminosity, the summit of the supreme vehicle, Buddha is nowhere sought but in the face of Dharmakaya. If I am not liberated into the unmanifested primordial ground, then relying on the supreme path of the five teachings on Buddhahood without meditation, may I be born in the five natural pure realms of Nirmanakaya, especially in the palace of lotus light pure realm, then in the presence of the Lord of Origin, the supreme sovereign of the ocean of Vidyadharas, in the place where there is the joyous celebration of the teaching of the supreme secret mantra. Let me be born as the supreme heir and be liberated. May I become the guardian of limitless sentient beings. Through the blessings of the ocean of victorious reasons, through the inconceivable truth of the Dharma Dhatu, through the freedom and endowed human body, training in purifying, ripening, and perfecting, manifest the interdependence and attain Buddhahood. From the letter Om, radiant like a crystal at the Lama's forehead, rays of light stream forth and enter my forehead. purifying negative actions of the body and obscurations of the channels. The blessing of Vajra body is infused. The Vedic empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the generation stage. The seed of the completely mature Rixin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Nirvana Kaya is established within my mind. From the letter R, blazing like a ruby at the Llama's throat, rays of light stream forth and enter my throat, purifying negative actions of the speech and obscurations of the inner wind. The blessing of Vajra speech is infused. The secret empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the practice of mantra recitation. The seed of the Rigzin with power over life is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Sambhoga Kaya is established within my mind. From the sky-colored letter hung at the Lama's heart, rays of light stream forth and enter my heart, purifying negative actions of the mind and obscurations of the essence. The blessing of Vajra mind is infused, the wisdom empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Sandali practice of bliss and emptiness. The seed of the Mahamudra Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Dharmakaya is established within my mind. Once more from the letter hung at the Lama's heart, a second hung streaks out like a shooting star, merging inseparably with my mind, purifying the karma of the all-round and conceptual obscurations. The blessing of Vajra wisdom is infused. The ultimate symbolizing word empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Zopa Chamber of original purity. The seed of the spontaneously accomplished Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Savabhavika Kaya, the final fruition, is established within my mind. Okay, now the mind training. Okay, go to page 116. So first of all, sit in a nice, comfortable posture. Page 116. Okay, page 116, 116. Tojo. Semjen, Damjen, Dunga, Jude, Nidan, Dende, Zombe, Sange, Gohan, Tombaraja, Deye, Chendunge, Del Joro, Ne, Barakawa, Gombara, I shall meditate on the difficulty of finding the freedoms and advantages, so that all sentient beings can be free from suffering and its causes and attain perfect Buddhahood. So that's the intention, motivation. Okay, go to page 105. The supplication to the Lama. The Zum Zange Nam Jiging Ho Kuje Nani Pangen Lama Damba La Sewa De So Dala Wanguru Jinge Laptos Salam Ge Tombai Ke Bara Chenju Lai Ke Wara Jinge Laptos Kada Nelu Ke Tawa Dobara Jinge Laptos Lundro Nanje Yeshe Tarchen Bara Jinge Laptos. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the sins of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama the sins of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. Page 106. Dal joro dinni shindu ne para kai kebu dendro thomba jurba la kalte denlai pembai madrumna chinne yanda jorbai gala juru. With these freedoms and advantages so hard to find, a person can attain enlightenment. If one does not take advantage of them now, how will one so well obtain them in the future? This is from Bodhisattva Charya. I don't know how they have translated this. Kind of, it's a little bit uneasy to read that. We might have to. This is very beautiful in Dal Jordan Shindu Nebra. Kebo Dendro Toba Jurbala Galde de la Pen. Shideyang da Jorba Gala Jur. So that's how you think, contemplate. Page 117. Jezen lama me ba tuje chenpo dan denpa namlai chanse lo. Venerable teachers whose compassion is infinite and unconditional, I prostrate myself before you all. Gewe gongpa rekzen daye ju kanzai mille kalpa rabjur Tambe jezen deni tarjen bai ju sun lamai namlai chanse lo. Conquerors of the mind lineage, Vidyadhara of the symbol lineage, for most fortunate of ordinary beings who, guided by the enlightened ones, have attained the two fourballs. Teachers of the three lineages, I prostrate myself before you. Cheze londun che go gongbai ni wese yingsu longgo jinang zek. Dulje nangoro truko joden ze gunge cheke gembo lai cha ze. In the expanse where all phenomena come to exhaustion, you encounter the wisdom of Dharmakaya. In the clear light of empty space, you saw Sambhogakaya Buddha fields appear. To work for beings' benefit, you appear to them in Nirmanakaya form. Omniscient sovereign of Dharma, I prostrate myself before you. Kembe sheje kunge dene ze tuze yozere dulje bandush Sablam tekze temba senze ba rigze jingme lingpa la cha tse. Cha tse los mi cha tse jungje. Okay, in your wisdom you saw the true nature of whatever can be known. The light of your love and love beamed benefit upon all beings. You elucidate the teachings of the profound path, summit of all vehicles. Rizhenjing Lingpa, I prostrate myself before you. Chenre Zewan Shenen Tsuzune, Sungye Nangwe Detse Talamge, Gangla Gandu Zemba Tayemba, Rinchen Zawen Lama La Cha Tse. You were Lord Avalokiteshvara himself in the form of a spiritual friend. Whoever heard you speak was established on the paths of freedom. To fulfill all beings' needs, your activity was infinite. Gracious root teacher, I prostrate myself before you. Todo bejunge zodo benge jigdo yeshen dojo la semande sangye kunye chumi kunye chosho dojo la tsuzo gangi yang san chune nabo la semande san chune choge lama namge gyasa wangko longze chome shen denche bebe necho kunwan dojo sangye doje sham la semande. Okay, like that you supplicate, and then you receive the four empowerments. Although we receive the four empowerments, but if you were doing this like the traditional way, you would immediately from doing the calling the Lama from afar, and then that one stanza of contemplating on fortunate human birth, and then immediately you do this supplication to the Lama, and then immediately receive the four empowerments, and then merge the wisdom mind of the Guru together, inseparable with your mind, and then you rest in that state. And then from there you would do the reading and the placement meditation like that. So we don't need to do that because we receive the four empowerments and so forth, but it's good to learn this is how you need to do. After you supplicate, then you receive the four empowerments, and then you merge inseparably with the Guru, and then in that state, then you start reading the text. So 15 minutes of reading the text and 15 minutes in placement meditation again. Yeah. Okay, now do the placement meditation. Yeah. Okay. Page 119. Dalwai Thomchan Ningbo Cheki Wul Chekoro Shokchan Cheme Chepe Yen Dandan Dandra Mombe Semchen Nam Deljoro Ningbo Lembara Jenge Lo. Back to page 119. Although I have won these freedoms, I am poor in dharma, which is their essence. Although I have entered the dharma, I am distracted doing other things. Bless me and all those foolish beings like me, that we may attain the very essence of the freedoms and advantages. Okay, now the refuge. Page 114. Visualize the refuge field in front of you, and then all motherly sentient beings along with you. Llama la chap su chi wo, sangye la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, gen la chap su chi wo. Lama la chap su chi wo, sangye la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo. Gen la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo. Sangye la chap su chi wo, che la chap su chi wo. Gende la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo, sangye la chap su chi wo. Che la chap su chi wo, gende la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo, sangye la chap su chi wo, che la chap su chi wo, gende la chap su chi wo. Lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, kenda la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, kenda la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chen la chap su chi wo, kenda la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, kenda la chap su chi wo. Lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, kenda Lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo. Lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, kenda la chap su chi wo, lama la chap su chi wo, sangha la chap su chi wo, chen la chap su chi wo, kenda la chap su chi wo. Chen la chap su wo, kenda la chap su wo, lama la chap su wo, sangha la chap su wo, chen la chap su wo, kenda la chap su wo, lama la chap su wo, sangha la chap su wo, chen la chap su wo, kenda la chap su wo, lama la chap su wo, sangha la chap su wo, chen la chap su wo, kenda la chap su wo, lama la chap su wo, sangha la chap su wo, chen la chap su wo, kenda la chap su wo, lama la chap su wo, sangha la chap su wo, chen la chap su wo, kenda la chap su wo, lama la chap su wo, sangha la chap su wo, chen la chap su wo. Lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la Lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so Lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so gendala jab so lama jab so sangla jab so chen la jab so Lama Jabso Sangra Jabso Chela Jabso Gendel Jabso 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 Lama Lama Jabso Sangra Jabso Chela Jabso Gendel Jabso 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 Lama Jabso Sangra Lam Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph 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 Lama Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda 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 Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Lam Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph Lama 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Chana Joseph Genda Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph 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 Chana Joseph Genda Chana Joseph Genda Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph 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 Chana Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph Lama Joseph Sang 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 Joseph Chana Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda 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 Joseph Lama Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda 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 Joseph Lama Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda 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 Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Joseph 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Genda Long Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Chana Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana and then Kom Tat Yesi Ban Namaya Peshan Shiju Pesha Jasuluj Kom Tat Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Ma Tensa No Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph and then Joseph Lam Joseph Sign Joseph Chana Joseph Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 통한 루인 같이 냈어. Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang 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 Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal 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 Jatsa Lam Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Gindal 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Chana chanta ganda chanta lama chanta san chanta 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 chana Chana chanta ganda chanta lama chanta san chanta 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 chana chanta Chana chanta ganda chanta lama chanta san 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 chanta chana Chana chanta ganda chanta lama chanta san chanta 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 chana Chana chanta ganda chanta lama chanta san chanta 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 chana chanta ganda chanta lama chanta Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal jata 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 lam jata san jata chala Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal jata 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 lam jata Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal 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 jata lam jata san jata chala Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal jata 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 lam jata san jata Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal 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 jata lam jata Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal 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 jata lam Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal jata 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 lam jata san jata Lam jata san jata chala jata gendal 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 jata lam jata san jata chala jata Lam Jada Zan Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San 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 Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada 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 Lam Jada San Jada Chala Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San Jada 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 Chala Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda 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 Jada Lam Jada San Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada 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 Lam Jada San Jada Chala Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam 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 Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San 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 Jada Chala Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada 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 Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda 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 Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San 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 Jada Chala Chala Jada Genda Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada 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 Lam Jada San Jada Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda 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 Jada Lam Jada San Lam Jada San Jada Chala Jada Genda Jada 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 Lam Jada Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jundig in the Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chan Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chan Jatsa Gina Chan Jatsa Gina Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa 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 Chan Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa Lam Jatsa San 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 Jatsa Chana Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina 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 Jatsa Lam Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa San Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Lam Jatsa San Jatsa Chana Jatsa Gina Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa San Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata San Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata San Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata San Jata Chala Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Chala Jata Gina Jata Lam Jata San Jata 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 Chala Jata Gina Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata Lam Jata San 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 Jata Chala Jata Chala Jata Gina Jata Lam Jata San 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 Jata Chala Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Gina 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 Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa 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 Chana Lam Jasa Sanjasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sanjasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Chana Jasa Gita Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Gita Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Joseph in the Joseph Lam Joseph San Joseph Chana Chale Joting in the Josalam Jota San Jota 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 Chale Joting Chale Joting in the Josalam Jota San Jota 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 Chale Chala Josing and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Joting 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 and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota San Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota San Jota Chala Joting Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota San Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota San Jota Chala Joting Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam Jota San Lam Jota San Jota Chala Joting and the Josalam 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 Jota San Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Jose Challenge something in the Jose Lam Jose San Gen La Jose Joan Chen La Jose Joan Gen Den La Jose Joan Lama La Jose Joan San Gen La Jose Chen La Jose Joan Gen Den La Jose Joan Lama La Jose Joan San Gen La Jose Joan Chen La Jose Joan Gen Den La Jose Lama La Jose Joan San Gen La Jose Joan Chen La Jose Joan Gen Den La Jose Joan Kunjo sumye deshe zawai sum tsalong tekle rangchen chancho sen ngo rangchen tuje kyalkor la jancho ningpo bando chanson Kunjo sumye deshe zawai sum tsalong tekle rangchen chancho sen ngo rangchen tuje kyalkor la jancho ningpo bando Kunjo sumye deshe zawai sum tsalong tekle rangchen chancho sen ngo rangchen Kyalkor jancho ningpo bando chanson Kunju sungen de che zong sun zan long de le rang jun jiang shu zeng wo rang jing to che ge go la jiang chen ni go ban de jiang su che kunju sungen de che zong sun zan long de le rang jun jiang shu zeng wo rang jing to che ge go la jiang chen ni go ban de jiang Kunju sungen de che zong sun zan long de le rang jun jiang shu zeng wo rang jing to che ge jiang chen ni go ban de jiang su che In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. Gewa diye nirdon dai genjo sumbo drupjun en drowa chekchan malum pa deye sanla gem parashu. Through the merit of this practice, may I swiftly accomplish the three jewels and establish every sentient being without exception on their level. Okay, now to conclusion, page 89. When my life is at its end, my perception, the glorious copper-colored mountain, the pure ram of Maya, indivisible from Nirmana Kaya's pure ram, and my body Vajra Yogini is transformed into a radiant and brilliant sphere of light. Merging inseparably with Jits and Pema June, I attain Buddhahood. Then from the display of vast primordial wisdom, the miraculous manifestation of bliss and emptiness, for every single being in the three realms, let me appear as their supreme guide. Jit and Pema, grant this so, I pray. I pray to you from the bottom of my heart. These are not just empty words. I pray that you grant your blessings from the expanse of your wisdom mind and cause all my aspirations to be fulfilled. Page 92. From the heart center of the Llama, a beam of light, red and warm, suddenly appears. And with myself visualized as Dorjin El Jorma, it touches my heart and I'm instantaneously transformed into a sphere of red light, which dissolves into Guru Rinpoche's heart, and I become inseparable with him in one day. Glorious, precious root Lama, dwelling on the lotus seat in my heart, care for me with your compassionate great kindness. Grant me the accomplishments of your body, speech, and mind. Toward the life and liberation of the glorious Lama, may wrong views not arise, not even for an instant. And through the devotion of seeing whatever he does as excellent, may the blessings of the Lama infuse my mind. In all of my lifetimes, may I never be separated from the perfect Lama. And experiencing the splendor of Dharma, may I perfect the qualities of the paths and bhumis and swiftly attain the level of Vajradhara. Okay, bring in mind how did your session go, then any mistakes you have, then you confess and purify, then any virtue that you have accumulated, you dedicate for the benefit of all sentient beings. Katina Mausti. Tell me about it. Okay, here you go. Just as the heroic Manjushri realized, and Samanta Bhadra too, I will train in their examples and perfectly dedicate all of these virtues. All of the conquerors of the three times, in whichever way they supremely praise dedication, I too will perfectly dedicate all my roots of virtue for the excellent conduct. In all of my lifetimes, wherever I am born, may I obtain the seven qualities of higher realms. Upon taking birth, may I immediately meet the Dharma and have the freedom to practice it perfectly. In that life, may I please the sublime Lama and practice the Dharma day and night. Having realized the Dharma, may I accomplish the ultimate meaning of the essence, and may I cross over the ocean of worldly existence in this very life. May I thoroughly teach the sublime Dharma within the world, and never become disheartened or weary of accomplishing the benefit of others. Through working impartially for the vast benefit of others, may all beings attain Buddhahood together. Om Benzai Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Allaho, everybody. Congratulations. Today is the 18th day. So today we did 1300 of the refuges. Cindy. One. So 2 more days and then we'll be done. Unfortunate human birth. Because we have done the nature of freedom, and then now we are on the specific of the advantages, and then we'll move on to like the numerical comparison and then the metaphorical comparison and all of those. Hey, it's good. It's yeah, keeping up with your accumulations. Yeah. Okay. Anybody wants to ask question? Anybody want to ask question?
I have a question on about the visualization.
Mm-hmm.
So when the yidam is over our head and enters through the crown chakra, whether we see from the front their depiction or when they're entering through through the central channel, right? From here to here, should we kind of dissolve it into a light so it isn't the image that's either kind of in front or behind? Because if it's in the central channel, it's confusing a little if we seeing the back,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of thinking maybe it's just dissolving. I mean, with the syllables, it's easier because they're from whichever angle you're seeing it, but for an image, it's a little bit.
Yeah, same. They dissolve. When they're sitting in front, they're sitting on this lotus petal right in front, facing toward you. And when you're doing Vajrasattva is on top of the lotus. The lotus stem is just the lotus stem is right here in your crown chakra like that.
Mhm.
And then when you're doing the refuge tree is in front of you in the sky. And when you're doing the Guru Yoga and receiving the empowerments and dissolving and so forth, then Guru Rinpoche does dissolve facing toward you and then merging through your crown here, opening this chakra, and then dissolves into your heart.
Okay.
And then he's there like the size of a thumb.
Mhm.
And then there you can visualize in many different ways, either in that same Guru Rinpoche form that you were visualizing in this very subtle, now become very small and then but distinct right here at the center of your heart. Or you can just visualize in the form of light, brilliant light, golden colored light, or just bright white light, or blue light, or whichever, red light, doesn't matter, whichever light. And or you can just visualize the Hung sit syllable, Hung sit syllable in your heart like that, or Ah sit syllable like that, but Hung is fine right now. So whichever way you dissolve, it's always facing toward you. So you can visualize it's coming down like that, Guru Rinpoche, through your central channel, and then still facing you. You can actually see as it goes down through your channel. Of course, it would mean that your central channel is here, but your eyes are over here. But you're not seeing just with your eyes, but you're actually seeing with your mind, or with your wisdom eye, whatever you want to call, like that. So non-conceptually like that you see, and then dissolves into your heart, and being present there all the time. There are 3 instances. When you sleep, it is there in your heart, and then that is, as we told, that this is how we dissolve ourselves into wisdom. Our ignorance is dissolved into primordial wisdom or luminosity, like that. And then when we visualize Guru Rinpoche rising up through your center channel and then remaining in or on our crown chakra, then Guru Rinpoche is facing toward us. It's not facing away from us. It's facing toward us. So he's just here, right on the crown chakra, facing toward you. It does not mean that he's facing back like that. But he is there, right? Like when you're looking at a picture of Guru Rinpoche or any deity. And so like that, just exactly like Guru Rinpoche is here, like that in this form. And then that one we say as the support of our support of blessings, the support of our practice, like that. And then when we walk or when we are going places like that, we visualize Guru Rinpoche here on our right shoulder. And then we say this is, then we are circumambulating. Guru Rinpoche is like a place. Guru Rinpoche is like Mount Sumeru, or like Mount Kailash, that kind of people go on pilgrimage like that. So you visualize that you are circumambulating Guru Rinpoche. So we say this is a support for circumambulation. So we are going on pilgrimages to sacred places like that. And then when we're eating again, Guru Rinpoche is facing inward. Guru Rinpoche is right here in our throat. And then whatever we eat, we are making offerings to Guru Rinpoche. So as Gana Chakra or as a feast offering or as food or drink or whatever you're eating or drinking, you make offerings to Guru Rinpoche. That way it becomes a source of accumulation of merit. So that's the way you need to visualize. So
when we wake up, I wanted to, I was sort of picturing Guru Rinpoche, leaving and coming here, or should we wait until we do the practice for that part and just keep him still in our heart?
here, when we are doing in Ngondro class, we are doing it together, but you can also do as you wake up from your bed, you can do that visualization. So you can do this is prior to your Ngondro practice. So as you hear the alarm clock, then you can just visualize that alarm clock is actually the song that is disturbing the slumber of your ignorance. So like that, you could actually chant that one and then make it into that alarm clock thing. And then, as it, then you, like my alarm clock goes like this, if you want to listen. So like that.
That's beautiful. I want to wake up.
Like that. So you visualize, and as you sing that, then Lama rises from your heart through your central channel, and then he's there, right on your crown chakra, like thousand petal lotus of devotion, or like that. He's there. And then at this particular point, you also need to reflect on what was your dream.
Yeah.
What did you dream last night? If you had like nightmares or not good dreams, like bad dreams and negative dreams, those kind of things, these are all reflections of our mind. So if we don't have negative in our mind, we'll never dream negative things or scary things, those kind of. So what we need to do is then immediately bring in our mind and then acknowledge that, oh, these are reflections of my mind. And then you purify that one. So you purify that. And then if you have good dreams, just rejoice like that. So that's the way to think.
So when we reflect on our dreams, should we first have Guru Rinpoche above and then?
Yes, yes. Once Guru Rinpoche rises up here, then
Okay.
you reflect on your dream. And then in front of Guru Rinpoche, you confess and you purify like that. And that's the way to do. So here in our 100-day retreat, we are all doing together. But imagine that you were doing your 100-day retreat on your own.
Yeah.
So you would wake up and then that's the time when you are just chanting the Kema Kehu or Lama calling from afar like that. So the Lama calling from afar is the time when the Lama is rising from your center channel and abiding here. So that's because if you read the instruction, it says, wake up to that environment where you see your fundamental nature is Vajra Yogini, and then the environment is the copper-colored Pure Land Lotus Light Palace of Guru Rinpoche, and then you wake up to that environment, very inspiring like that. And then now today is the day to manifest my activity to bring benefit to all sentient beings. You think like that, and then you engage in your practice. Okay?
And then one other subtle, I'm behind, sometimes the moon disk on the refuge tree is what green and sometimes it's peach. Is that just the artist's?
Yeah, it's just the moon disk. It's a radiant light, so it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just previously they could never get the pigment right or the colors, the hues and so forth. It's just you just visualize its light. It's radiant light. Light is bright, either white in color or golden color, the matter like that. And then like Chandrazi, he is leaning on the moon, so moon disk, so it is bright, like how would you say, very peaceful, like when you see during the dark night when the moon lights up, very beautiful, that kind.
Thank you.
Great.
Rinpoche, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For the visualization of the refuge assembly, when it says arrayed perfectly as the glorious copper-colored mountain in its center, I am Vajrayogini. I was just wondering how to visualize the glorious copper-colored mountain with me at the center of that.
Yeah, you have to learn that one. So copper-colored mountain, pure land, is guarded by the Rakshas, by the cannibals. So the outer periphery is very scary.
Okay.
So then once you get past those scary guys, then you're into this very beautiful lotus light, pure Ram, Guru Rinpoche, and then has this jewel, all the palace walls and so forth, the columns and the floors and the pillars and the truss and the beams and all of these are just precious jewels, made of precious jewels. And of course, not carved, not made. These are just naturally a reason, nature of the palace. And then has doors from 4 directions and has stairs and corridors and verandas and balconies and so forth, and has 3 stories. Then the bottom one is where Guru Rinpoche, Nirmana Kaya, Guru Rinpoche is. So he's there, Guru Rinpoche, and then he's teaching all the Vidyadharas there, all the Vidyadharas, the wisdom holders, and he's teaching the teachings of the Dzogpa Chenpo, or the, we say the swift path teachings like that. And then if you travel further up to the 2nd story, then, so this is the first floor is Guru Rinpoche. The 2nd floor is Avalokeshwara or Chenrezis. That's the Chenrezi level. That's the Sambhogakai level. And then you see Chenrezi there. And then all the Buddhas and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of Sambhogakaya manifestations all around Chenrezi like that. And then Chenrezi teaching to all the Buddhas like that. And further, if you go up to the 3rd floor, then that is the Dharmakaya palace, the Dharmakaya Ram, where Buddha Amitabha or Buddha Kuntu Zangpo, Kuntu Zangmo, whichever, that's inseparable. So Buddha Kuntu Zangpo and his retinue inseparable. There's no distinction of the main and the retinue like that. And then the teachings, the Buddha Kuntu Zangpo, it's transmitting is beyond symbolism, beyond words. It's just the realization of wisdom mind, transmuted inseparably like that. So that's how you visualize the copper colored mountain, pure M. And then you happen to be there. You happen to be magically in that place, because of your good fortune. And then you're Vajra Yogini there. And then wherever you see is all Guru Rinpoche and whomever you meet are just bodhisattvas and wisdom holders and dakas and dakinis. And even if you meet like the wrathful ones, they are like the protectors or the Yidam deities or the oath-bound ones and so forth. So all the Panditas, the wisdom holders of India and Tibet and so forth. So you see them all surrounded in front, not just in flesh and blood body, but in this radiant, luminous rainbow light appearance like that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
I think you can Google like the picture of it, but I have a book of the like copper color mountain with like the palace like this. Yeah, it's kind of dark and like you can see like that.
Yeah.
And then
is that the one called Sanglok Palri?
yeah, Zamdok Padre, like the glorious copper colored mountain, the copper mountain mandala of Bama from this book. But I think there must be a Google picture of the palace on somewhere.
There is one book called Copper Colored Mountain, Zangdok Palri, or I think it will go by Zangdok Palri if you Google. It's a book written by the Queen Mother, the grandmother now, the Queen Mother. Before she was the Queen Mother, but now she's the Grand Queen Mother of the present King of Bhutan, who is a student, who is the student of Jabja Durgo Khyentse Rinpoche, and she compiled this, and then there are many images of copper-colored mountain from many different temples in Bhutan and so forth. You'll like that one. It's an expensive book. It's over $100 or so. It's a thick book.
I don't think you can get it for that price anymore. I think it's like $500 now. Because when I think I looked up the same book, it's like really big.
Yeah.
Big size. It's like this size, like really big like this. And they don't print it anymore. So like you can buy it for like 500. Oh, I got it. This is the link because I looked it up back then. This one.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive. Like collectible item.
Well, maybe we'll find a way to get it. In Bhutan, it's $100. So
really,
still, yeah. Maybe outside the country, it's more. So, but that's a beautiful book. And yeah.
Is there any mountain involved? Or is it
Beg
just,
pardon?
is there any actual mountain involved, or is it just a palace of light?
Well, the location is called Zangdok Palri. That is the Zangdok Palri so the mountain is all copper colored. The location is like all copper colored mountain. And then the continent is called the Fan Continent. It's like Fan Continent, that's where it is. Okay. And then the palace is called the Lotus Light Palace. So I haven't been there, so I don't know. But all the lamas and the treasure revelers, and they have been there, and they describe in their revelations and so forth. So like Jigme Lingpa has an aspirational prayers of the copper-colored mountain, which is called the swift path to copper-colored mountain, and we are supposed to read that one. It's in our additional Longchen Nyingthig prayer book. So those prayers and the prayers which the aspirational prayers purifying the three kayas, pure RAM and so forth. And then, yeah, all of the additional prayers you'll have to learn. So slowly by slowly, you need to make a lot of aspiration, to be born in copper-colored mountain. First, you have to be inspired, be drawn toward it. So that's why when you read of copper-colored mountain, it's just as like all the Nirvana Kaya pure RAM, where there is no suffering at whatsoever. Everyone there is just bodhisattvas. It's not like God RAM. It's not like God RAM. God RAM is still stained by suffering. It's like, their happiness is subject to change any minute, any time, like that. But copper-colored mountain, the Buddha's pure RAM, the Nirmanaka pure RAM, and so forth. It's there's no returning from there. So then when you read of those, then you feel inspired. You want to be born there. First thing, you need to learn the arrangement, the configuration of the pure RAM. And then secondly, you need to have bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, bodhicitta is the passport that we have, or the visa. Without bodhicitta, we cannot get entrance there. So, and then we need a lot of merit. We need to accumulate a lot of merit. So whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we say, we always have to be positive. So that's, and then we need to multiply our merit by always dedicating. So, and then fourth is that we need to make vast aspiration that let me be born in copper-colored pure RAM, and inspiring this quality of copper-colored pure RAM, and that quality of copper-colored pure RAM, let me be born in copper-colored pure RAM. So those four factors have to be there. And then soon as you breathe your last, you'll be born there.
Lola, is that still a rebirth if you're born there?
Yeah, it's miraculous birth. It's you're not born through any kind of womb or like that. You're blossom from a lotus, just like Guru Rinpoche. You emanate there from a lotus.
Okay, but you've reached Buddhahood when you're there.
Yes, you reach the level of the Dakas and Dakinis and wisdom holders and like that. But further, you have to enhance your realization from there. So it's not the ultimate Buddhahood, but good enough. I would settle for that. It's much better than being in samsara. Way too better, way far too better than being in samsara. And then your emanations, your aspirations are that to bring forth the benefit to all sentients. Like here when we say, I pray to Guru Rinpoche, Jetsen Pema, that may I attain Buddhahood. Then from that vast magical display of that basic state, then may I emanations come. So we have that one. It's not like you going into some kind of, you vanish and then never show up. Not like that. Your emanations in inconceivable manifestations come and then bring benefit to each and every sentient beings.
Yes, is that like a higher achievement than the Pratyeka Buddhas, Narhats? Is that like a...
Oh, of course, much. That's infinite manifestations come, Pratyeka Buddhas and so forth. There's no manifestation, there's just their own cessation or resting in the extreme of peace. That's why there's is considered as one extreme of existence, one extreme of existence of peace. Samsara is the extreme of existence. Nirvana is the extreme of peace. So okay, so everybody stay well, take good care, and then keep your numbers logged, and then try to match with whatever we have done. And then now we are going to another phase. We have 2 more days of this one, and then after that we're moving on to another level. So, and then main thing is you have to do your homework. So all this part has to kind of give you the conviction or like certainty in your mind, like, let me use this body to extract the essence of Dharma. Not that I want to be distracted in worldly things and so forth, not to be attached to samsaric attainment and so forth. So think like that. Okay. Okay, everybody, touch the leg and have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye now, everybody.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Have a good day.
Okay,
Good day, everyone.
Good day, Alexander. Good day, Linda. Good day, Kira, and then bye.